seconds ago. Yes.
Okay,
so
cool.
We want to make sure to cut that off.
Yep. So let's start. Hi everyone. Welcome to the CBA Show. So today is our third episode, and we have the amazing Candyce Costa, who was ill, and she specially took the time out for us to join us this evening. It's 9 o'clock London time, and and I is at 6 o'clock in Japan. Yeah. Cool. So so let me introduce our guest today. Candyce Costa is an amazing lady that I've got to know through LinkedIn since about 3 years ago. In fact, she was the first person I've converted from online to offline. And even the first meeting, she had loads of stuff to share. She was really friendly, really open, and we really sort of hit off very well. And so we have been keeping in touch for the last couple of years, and I've got to know a lot about her, about how she was pregnant at 18 and she had a son, and how she brought up her son, and then she was working as a single mom for a while, and how she also moved countries to start from scratch. And she has been living in London for the past 10 years. We're going to ask her more about it later. So last year, Candyce started a digital business women magazine, eMagazine. It's been 1 year, and it's going to be even more successful this year. In fact, she has a couple of sponsorship for her magazine, and she has also started an event series. And this is really amazing work. And this year, she's been nominated by Women in Tech to be the UK brand ambassador, empowering women to become more visible in the tech space and helping them in a support network. So Candyce speaks 3 languages, she has friends around the world, and she has a dog. So it's a bit personal stuff about her. So let's welcome Candyce to our show. Yay!
Yeah, drum roll. Thank you for joining us. By the way, Claire, before we start, and on our YouTube channel, I don't see any of us. I only saw the promotional graphic. Can you please double check?
Yes. So, can you see? Yeah, I think that should be us now. Coming up, yes.
There might be a delay, but Candyce, congratulations on all the accomplishments. And I think that really shows who you are, just so unstoppable, right? Like the title of our conversation today is Unstoppable. Even you have been not feeling so well the past several days, but you didn't want to cancel out on us. You showed up. No. And so I think that speaks a volume of who you are and why you are so successful, right? From nowhere to where you are today, from being, nobody to becoming a top influencer, from being afraid as a single mother to unstoppable today. So we are really looking forward, especially me, getting to know you better and try to be inspired by you so that both of us can become even more unstoppable. So welcome to the show.
Yay.
Thank you very much for having me, girls. Thank you very, very much. I'm just looking forward to meeting and having this chat with you. So that's why, even though, and I'm so sorry, I'm going to have a little bit of coffee and around me, this rusty voice, but I'm really, really happy to join you guys today.
Yeah.
You're amazing. Yeah.
Cool. So let's get on with the questions that we have. So, Candyce, you've come from Brazil. So I think our audience and I are very interested to understand a bit more about your decision to leave Brazil. What inspired you to make this decision, and was it difficult at that point of time?
Yeah. So when I decided to leave Brazil was based in, I have my son, and he was around 4 years old. And I have a situation on streets of being mugged. So I got a little bit an experience of violence, and I wasn't really happy to have my son growing up in a place where I couldn't feel safe. So if I couldn't feel safe, how can I, like be okay having my son in a place where I wouldn't be really happy of living there. So that was what really made my decision really easy as well to take, because on top of the not feeling safe in the country, I was really interested in moving to Europe, in moving to in a different place where I can, give him as well a better life, in a, not just a safe environment, but also more opportunities that I thought
Mhm.
in Brazil we had. So that is was the main this like the main force behind the decision of moving. It was a little bit difficult, and thinking that I would be in a new country. So I moved to Portugal, where I have family, and in that time, my sister is living there, is still there. So we have family, and have friends as well to be the base in, helping us to settle in the country. So it made it easier to move. Although we had a lot of challenges anyway, but yeah. So that was the reason to move, and was a challenge. Was a little bit tough in the beginning. Try to settle in a different country, but we speak the same language. We have differences in the grammar, in the accent, and culturally as well. Portugal is very, very
Mhm.
different. So, but the first year we already settled in the country, and we were like, with time pass, we became Portuguese as well, and very proud Portuguese nowadays.
Wow, that's amazing. I love hearing. So thank you for being so open with us, not just like saying that, oh, everything was amazing, but really admit that there are challenges. And I think you also did an interview with Clarice, and or like I read an article somewhere about you that you have been in London in the UK for 10 years. And I really think, and both Clarice and I, we have also moved from country to country. And you also mentioned earlier there were challenges and also some fears. So if you can just kind of reflect on the past several years or decade of your personal transformation and the professional transformation, and as you are trying to rebuild your career and reestablish yourself and to create a better future for your son, and so, what was the biggest challenge, the biggest fear that you have encountered? And so, if you can share that with us, or any stories behind the challenges or fears that you can share with us, I think our audience will really love to hear stories like that.
I think the biggest challenge is always facing the unknown.
Oh,
So you need to have this strong, positive mindset to go through something like that. You need to find your strength, because it's not easy at all. So I think when you don't know, even sometimes you have friends, you have family, but it's a new
mhm,
territory. It's a place where you needed to understand how things works, not just culturally, but in a workplace environment. Moving to London, we had the language barrier as well. We all the family we spoke English before, but of course when we arrive in the country, everything is different, because people, they have a more slangy way of speak, and we have
mhm.
to adapt it as well. Uh, for me, it's the unknown for me is a challenge. So I see usually with a positive mindset. So I'm very curious. So when I move countries, I always feel the excitement of what, what's going to happen. who are new people, what is the difference in the, for example, in the culinary. So what kind of food I'm gonna eat, so I'm gonna go to the supermarket, so what's different. So I try to get very excited, I really, for me to make my mindset get positive, I, of course, we have the unknown always bring sort of like the butterflies that sometimes you can't control. In my case, I suffer from anxiety. So what makes me even more difficult to manage the anxiety, the pressure of being in a new place. It's not just changing your like the company that you work or moving houses. Actually, you're moving everything. You're moving for a new, completely new environment, not just new place to live, new work, new people, setting the kids at school, finding a job, finding a house, understanding how people interact, like culture, subtles that you just know when you live in the country. So the only why you understand how people work. Living is not just taking a holiday, it's really actually living in a country. And after 6 months, the first year is when you really get that. And then you start to feel more confident. So for me, it's again, I see everything with my positive mindset. I always think that I'm gonna do it. If I set a challenge, I will do my best. And in the end, I think I'm a high achiever as well. So I always want to be perfect. I always want to do my 100%. So then I think that helps me as well, adapting really quickly to the new environment that I'm in. Like in this case, 10 years in London, we lived before in New Zealand as well, and before in Portugal.
Wow, that's amazing. I have a kind of follow-up question. And I love how you mentioned being in the unknown. Like Clarice is an entrepreneur. I'm becoming one. You are very established entrepreneur. I think one core kind of identity of who we are is like to be okay with being in the unknown. So how nowadays, you have grown so much, and how do you feel about being in the unknown? Do you still feel like being like afraid of it, or more being inspired by this feeling of like uncertainty? How do you feel about today?
Today, I think because I've changed so much, not just countries, but I change jobs, I change careers. So my life is a very dynamic. So I'm not, I get I get bored when I'm in this comfortable place. So I keep pushing myself to find new things, to work in a different, finding different ways. I'm constantly studying as well, because I think when I do the, training, I will always learn something new. So I'm trying always keep myself moving, and for me, the unknown nowadays, it's much more excitement, than really losing my control or my coolness. I feel really, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I think another strong point on how I deal with the unknown or big challenges is I try to see failure, as something good. Like I'm not. If I have a mistake, or if I started something and I have to finish, and I say, okay, it doesn't work, or it's not working anymore, any reason, I try to see failures in a much more positive way. So I think that
Amen.
helps as well.
Amen. I just love that. That is so
Thank you.
true. That is just so amazing, because I don't know how Clarice feels about this. I grew up in China. I think for my entire educational experience in China, and maybe even like later after I came to the US, I learned, or I was being conditioned to believe that failure is so bad. it is something that is being punished, because if I fail, I fail a class, right? Or receive a lower score. So for a long time, I was so afraid of failure. Like I still remember the very first time I got rejected. Oh, I
Yeah.
feel like that rejection almost destroyed me. But in retrospect, I was like, oh my God, that was so stupid. I was crying. It was not even a big deal. I was crying for so many days. I was like, oh my God, I got rejected by this whatever application. Yeah, but now, as you mentioned, I have become a lot more resilient. Yeah, but I just love that comment, like how you have embraced this uncertainty, being in the unknown, and start to love like failures. And as much as we love success, right? They are part of the same picture.
Yeah, it's part of our path, isn't it? How are you going to understand success if you doesn't know what is a failure? Like, and
Amen.
we need to hit sometimes the wall, and sometimes things have to stop us in a mistake or in a failure just to show a different path, just to show a different position that we have to put ourselves in. So actually, you
Amen.
can see in a positive way something that people usually see very negative. I think in my case, I believe it's my ballet background that I have to fail so much and so hard to learn, for example, how to do a pirouette. I haven't, nobody born knowing anything. You have to train, you have to learn, you have to try. And for example, as a ballerina, I've tried, I don't know, 100,000
Oh my
times
God.
how to do a pirouette. And, and that is something that today I still do it. I can still do three pirouettes, because I've learned maybe after 100,000 failures.
Oh, did we lose her? And I just love. Did we lose Candice? I can't hear her.
Candice?
I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
hear
No,
you.
yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
yeah,
back. You're back.
Clarice is here.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow, there's just like so many points. I really have to control my desire to keep talking, because every point you mentioned is just so good, resonated with me so much. And I can see why you have become where you are today and who you are today, really because of those core values, and just has become your identity, right? And then
Yeah, because
Yeah, I cannot see myself not being this kind of cheerleader that it's positive and that believes that we have to challenge ourselves, we have to step up our game, even though we are scared. So we have a saying in Brazil that I love it, that is say you go to the edge and then you jump and then you learn how to fly. I keep telling that all the time to
wow.
my friends, and I think I said that a few times to Clarice. Just jump because you learn how to fly in the wild.
how do you say that in Portuguese?
In Portuguese, do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, vá para o ponto do precipício e pule. E aí você aprende a voar.
Okay. Good. So for
I love this.
yeah, thought it would be useful for Portuguese audience if someone knows Portuguese.
Hey, Clarice, I love how you think. I love how you think. Yes, because our show is going to be global. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, just jump and then learn how to fly.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I think
I think it's just a way of you not being so afraid of failures. Just
Amen.
try.
I think that's
Amen.
that's what a lot of
Amen.
people. No, that's what I believe a lot of people they sort of don't quite understand. I feel like that's why when I talk to Candice many times and she shares with me a lot of her stories, and I was just blown away by it because I was brought up in an environment like similar to the parents would tell you you have only got one life, you've only got limited time, you have to get it right the first time, and if you're not successful, you're not earning that amount of money at 30 plus, well, you're not gonna go really far. Sort of. And I
It's
think
true.
and I think that's like the wrong approach, because actually recently I met up with a couple of friends from Singapore and they came over. So what happened was, one of this friend, he's planning to retire at 45, and then he said like actually a lot of people around his age are really sort of scared to move around in their jobs because they are worried that they will not have this job anymore. And I think this is the story from you, Candice, that we should share with them. Jump off the cliff and fly. I think that's really critical.
See what happened, yeah?
And I think that goes on very nicely with our next question that we're going to talk about, was about your magazine, your eMagazine idea last year that you talked about with me a while in 2017, and before you know it, you were starting on this magazine in 2018, your first issue, and it's been 1 year. And it's been really successful, and we have what was the numbers? How many people have
Congratulations!
Yes.
With December edition, we hit almost 750,000 engagements on LinkedIn. The magazine is just promoted on LinkedIn. We don't do any other social media. LinkedIn has been the platform of choice, and I think the audience is there. They like the content is very good, so we have interviews, we have articles, we have recommendations for different things, gadgets, budget, books, events, so different things that actually I think that is why the magazine has been a success, because we are providing good quality content, and people talking about their stories through the interviews, and of course the recommendations for books, gadgets, and things that we want to do, and we want to place to eat, and things that for women in business, in digital tech industry, we cannot find this kind of information anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So did you really, how many years was the planning stage? Were you planning this eMagazine for a long time, or just one day you woke up, okay, I'm going to start a magazine, let's do this? So share with us.
Was exactly like that. I woke up one day and said, actually I couldn't find a magazine or a blog that I really like it, that it really gives me the storytelling, women sharing their up and downs, not just the amazing six figures, that they do in their jobs or whatever. So I really wanted to know the up and downs in their journeys. So I couldn't find that. I couldn't find articles that were really giving us pure advice, pure tips of how to do it, or how to get over, or how to find it, or how to do it. And then I couldn't find as well any place where I can have, if I wanted to buy a book, I have to ask my friends. If I wanted to buy a gadget, I have to ask friends. I found a couple of magazines, digital magazines, but they were very much in a male style, wasn't really. I couldn't find gadgets that were appealing for me, nice handbags where I can carry my laptop or my tablet, books that I could resonate with me, and things that I want to read. More women talking about their own journeys. So I couldn't find. And one day, I was around October, said, I think I can do it. So I took a month of figuring out what kind of tools I could use, and if I could find, a way of organizing and managing my time with my other business, and things that I do it, initiatives that I have been working with. And then in December, I said, okay, I'm going to contact a couple of friends. Was the very first, I think it was 15 friends, and Paris was one of them. And so I sent them a digital form interview with 10 questions. And in February, we are online. So we go online on February with the first magazine. People started talking, And we're now sharing and tagging. And the second one, we already doubled the size of the magazine, so more women want to help us, wants to be featured in the magazine. In the third edition was really when everything started really getting bigger and bigger, because we have women from around the world contacting us through
Wow.
LinkedIn, asking, can I be featured? So it's when I created the hashtag raise your profile. So I was shouting out almost every week, asking women in business, in digital, in tech, to come and talk about their own journey. So it was amazing. So we keep going and just doubling the magazine. So the December edition, we have February was the first year of the magazine, and we have almost 100 pages with interviews, articles, recommendations, and yeah. So it started like exactly like that. I thought, and I think, can I do it? Yes. So 3 months later, I was online with this
Oh my
crazy
God,
idea.
what an amazing journey, right? And I remember when I was doing the interview with Seth Godin, he said that entrepreneurs and marketers, we are problem solvers. That's
Right.
exactly how I see you, Candice. You see a
Yeah.
problem, you took action. So many of us, we see
Yes.
Yeah.
problems, but so few of us actually take action to do anything about this. And what I love about you, you are unstoppable. You are such an action taker. And if I hear
Yes.
you correctly, you pretty much spend like 1 month kind of thinking about this October, right? Planning about this.
Yes.
And then December, you were like starting. And then next year, you're launching this. That is
Yes.
so amazing. I'm sure you are not the first person who saw this problem, right? But you are one of the very first few who actually took action. Did you really see yourself and the magazine becomes this successful within such a short period of time?
No, actually not. When I knew, my gut told me that will be successful, but not in a year with the numbers that we had. I had in my gut that if there is the demand is there. So women, they are looking for this kind of content. They love the interviews. They love to know the story behind someone journey. So I knew that the mix of content with storytelling will be an amazing mix. But when I have the third edition, and then we started getting big numbers, was we were like, for example, in December, one of our posts only hit almost 60,000 engagements, one
Wow.
post. So with that is when so in the third edition is when we started getting more numbers, and more women's connecting. My LinkedIn nowadays has more than 8,000 people connected, and 90% are women because of the magazine. So with those numbers is when I really saw that gut feeling is really like it was really right, to follow the gut. Because I had in the first magazine, I thought I'm gonna do that for a year and let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, I had fun. I've met a lot of nice women around. I thought London, so what I thought, and then now I have connections around the world, and a lot of women that support and encourage, and they keeping following, they keeping coming back, they keeping cheering me when the magazine is out.
Mhm.
We are going to start a podcast, so we already have the whole year booked, like
Wow.
so we I just opened as well a membership area for women that they want
Wow.
to
Yeah.
with the magazine, they want to know the podcast, all of the news events. We are doing a lot of collaboration and affiliation with companies and events to give our audience discounts in services, in products. So it's a lot of things happening now.
That is amazing. I know I said this many, many times. Congratulations. You are
Thank
just such
you.
such an inspiration to many, many people like myself. And I also love the point you mentioned, right? Like you really enjoy. I can see that. I think you mentioned that even if like nobody is like watching or paying you, and you love doing this, right? You love learning more about this. I think that is such a great attitude, right? So many of us, we are so like our happiness is so dependent on like how many people are joining us, to the point that we almost forget why we want to start the show in the very first place. So I really love, and by very interestingly, because you are having fun, you are enjoying this, and people can tell, and they start to come, and it
Yeah,
is very
I
interesting to
haven't thought.
see that.
Yeah, I haven't thought about numbers. I haven't thought about being famous. I haven't thought about making money. The first year I wasn't. I invest my own money, so I didn't even ask or try to sell anything or do any sort of money collaborations. Because I really, it's something that I really love to do it. I really like connecting with new people. I really like to know their stories. I really wanted to create a platform where people can reach more people, they can connect with more people, because
Mm.
then we can generate collaborations, we can generate business, we can generate speakers, like women that want to do be speakers in conference events, etc. We create a networking where women can they rely on each other, they can reach him, like they can just say send a LinkedIn request saying, oh, I saw the magazine, or I read your article in the magazine, I really like it, can we connect? And that one point with the membership magazine, the membership site, what I want to do is to have a way of when you travel, for example, if I'm going to, I don't know, for example, I'm going to Tokyo, and I can go there and say, okay, guys, I'm gonna be in Tokyo this week, that week. Who's gonna wanna meet and have some coffee? So that is I wanted to create a big tribe where you can rely and you can connect with everybody, because it's a safe place to meet and
Oh,
connect with, that you think the same, they are like-minded, they vibrate in the same energy, and they want to meet, they want to collaborate, they want to support, they want to encourage. So that is the big, big mission of the magazine.
wow, I love that. You are really building this global tribe, right, of like-minded people who genuinely want to support each other. And that is just so amazing. That is just so amazing. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can almost see you doing that and organize some official like summit or meetups from this point forward. So did you basically just like grow this magazine kind of organically?
Yeah, it was just organically, just tagging friends, and of course with the help of the guests. So each guest, I try to have guests that they have some sort of good numbers on LinkedIn, because will
Okay.
help us with the numbers. But it's not just about that. So the magazine, I try to split the magazine in three. So three is women's from Americas, and then women's from Europe, Africa, women's from Asia. So then we can have diversity, and we can have different
Oh,
backgrounds. We can have women from everywhere, from very different backgrounds, way of life, lifestyles in the same magazine. And
I
another
love that.
thing is the age gap, the generations as well. So I always have millennials. I always have the women in the middle 30s,
Like us,
40s,
like
and
me.
Yeah.
exactly. And then the women in the 40s, 50s. That's my generation. So because another thing is I wanted to create a link where my generation could learn from your generations, and the new generation can learn from our experience as well. I think we need a lot to share and learn a lot from each other's generations.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Yes, yes. I can't wait to see you grow even more and inspire and change even more people's lives. Because I feel like for people like you who have been to so many countries, who come from different like background, you really see the value in diversity, right? And I can see that
Yeah.
how you are interviewing people from different countries, from different cultures, which is something I think is also very important. That's why I think I'm speaking on behalf of Clarice that we want to start this show is to really inspire and encourage more women of color, so to speak, to share their stories, share their voices, because we have a unique perspective to bring to the table, right? Like how many times did you already mention like
Exactly.
diversity, learn from different generations, different culture backgrounds? I it resonated so much with me.
Yeah, I think it's just so nowadays it's very important that we can see everyone as a unique but part of something that we belong to a society. So in the best way, in my opinion, the best way is really looking through diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people, for example, the magazine, we are focusing women. They're in business, digital, and technology. So, and usually I have, especially comments from men that they want to shame me about, oh, if you talk so much about diversity, if you
What?
want to talk about equality, why not? Why don't you? Why you do not have men's?
Yeah.
Why they are not in a magazine? Or why, for example, in events that I run, it's always open for men and women, even though we are heavily focused in women, but the events are for everybody. So we open the doors for everybody. In the magazine, we right now we starting. I'm starting thinking a why of also bringing men that advocate and champion women as well. So we are right now. I am exploring an idea that I will bring women that they have mentors that are men. So I want
Mm-hmm.
to bring it of why a man or why a woman they have a mentorship or what makes the difference or try to explore and see uh, for example, of course, when we think about role models, usually we want a role model that we can resonate as well. So I look for another woman, because I'm a woman. So but for the mentorship side of the for the program, I think it doesn't matter if you have a mentor that's a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important step is the kind of support, the kind of knowledge they will share with you. So this is for me, it's a way that I'm gonna bring men that champion women being mentors for these young women. So, but I still have a lot of men shaming the way
I
that I talk about diversity.
That I don't get that, but I see that. I understand that rationally, but I just don't get it. Why would people even do that, right? If like you look at any like major media exposure, there are like there are so many like exposure for guys, for men. They're just like wow. So
I
that
think it's just because they are a little bit afraid of, the society is switching really quickly. Like in the past 3 5 years, women are more and more having like a say. We are getting more women on board. We are getting more women on conferences, on events. More women openly talking about why society is this way. So, and when we talk about diversity, what I say is for example, in my case, I can just talk from a place that I know. I am a woman. I am 45. I was a single mother. I'm in a relation with a white man for 20 years. I live in different countries, so I know what is to be a migrant, in a different talent. So this is the only place that I can talk about it. I cannot put I have a lot of empathy, but for example, I cannot talk as a black woman. It's not, I'm not a black woman. I cannot talk as an Asian woman, or whatever it is. I cannot talk as a man because I'm not. I cannot be a gender fluid because I'm not. So the only place that I can raise my voice is from things that I can talk about it, and I know from my own, and I can be and help creating a platform from women, black women, Asian women, gender fluids, or whatever is the background, Muslim colleagues or whatever, that they can bring their own experience and their own voice. But I cannot speak for them, because my reality is a completely different one. I am a middle-aged white woman that is a migrant. This is my practice.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really don't care about anything. Like
Yeah.
you can keep checking. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I feel like I'm talking so much, but I have another follow up on this. Clarice is going to stop being friend with me after this episode. You go away. It's too annoying. I do. I have like another comment follow up. So when you receive negative, so to speak, comments like that, how did that
Yeah.
affect you? Like, do you feel energized by it, or just like whatever, you ignored it, or like how do you deal with that emotionally and then just like even like professionally? How do you handle it? I'm sure like many women, I had a little bit bullying, tasted a little bit bullying. Like by my professional career, in terms of becoming entrepreneur, is very short. So just in case we have people who have been on this journey longer, I want to learn from you, Candice. How did you deal with that?
Yeah. Um, Usually, for me, I usually feel sad for the person that is in the other side saying something like that. I feel like, oh my goodness, this person is just sad. Like they cannot see the positive.
Mm-hmm.
What is the bullying? For example, once I
Hello.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I think we lost
Yeah.
Candice a little bit. I don't know if she's
Yeah, but
gonna
like
jump back in.
she will be back. Maybe we can reintroduce her again.
Yes. So yes, thank you everyone who has joined us. We have Gerard joining us today. Yeah, I mean I saw a couple of other people. It says 4 people. I don't know who else is actually with us. Yeah, so today we have Candyce Costa with us today, sharing about her experience. So we have talked about her digital businesswoman magazine, which she started from scratch, and she took 1 month to think about it.
I
know. Yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yes, are you back? Hang on.
Welcome back. We
Yes.
Clarice is just
I'm
introducing.
sorry. I don't know what happened because actually I could see you and I could hear you, and then I figured out that you couldn't hear me.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You don't have your camera on, do you? Oh.
It looks like she's frozen, Clarice, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, she is. Actually, now she's off the screen.
I can see me.
Okay. You still there? Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
back. Yes.
Oh, she's back,
awesome.
she's back.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go back to I was so the question about bullying.
Bullying.
What I said is I feel sad because other just the thing not in a negative way, so they cannot understand the whole information that I'm trying, to get. It's not just something I just, every time that I post, actually I think about it. I very rare I'm posting something that I do not think about it. It's different kind of bullying. So my first viral on LinkedIn was LinkedIn is not Tinder, and I was talking about men that use LinkedIn for flirting, and with that, I have guys saying horrible things, horrible, attacking me, attacking the comments, so it was really bad. So for me, I felt I need to strongly to protect myself and the women that are in stories in that specific situation. So I reply each of the comments of those guys saying that when you are in the meeting room, you're not gonna love or possible. Like there's a space for that, and singer.
Hello? Yes? I think it just went off the connection. I can't hear you very clearly, Candice.
Yeah,
Would it help if you turn off your video cam and then we just hear your voice? Because I think your voice is a little bit choppy.
Sounds better.
Yeah. What do you think? Can you
Okay.
hear? Yeah.
yeah, like when she was trying to answer the question, like talking about bullying, I didn't really hear you, Candice.
Okay, so what I was saying about the bullying is with the magazine, most of it's a shame. So they keep me asking me why I do not talk about everybody. I do not talk
Yeah.
about women,
Mm-hmm.
men, and everybody. So I don't know why I try to answer.
Oh,
Usually, I just report and blocked when they are really nasty. Like I don't know because I try to protect myself. So I try to use the same kind of conversation that they are saying. Like if they are telling me, for example, oh you are like they call me, oh you are a snowflake, and I say yes, unique.
snowflake.
So I try, yeah, I try to change the negative to positive. This is the way. Do I feel like sad, or if I do I feel stressed? No, not because I just see them as sad people. So I think they need friends. They need to find love. They need to find.
Okay. Hello. Yes. So I think.
Yeah.
We're having so many technical issues today.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
It's still a little bit choppy. I don't know if it might be better if you rejoin us again. If you disconnect and rejoin us again, would it be okay?
I'm gonna disconnect and return. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if it will work. Okay. So, in the meantime,
Yeah, I'm trying to like listen to her. Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
she was.
the.
Yeah, I think she was talking a little bit about people calling them names. Because I think I did see a couple of stuff and I talked to Candice a few times. So there were a couple of people was like telling her why men are not included in this magazine. Shouldn't that be for men as well? Are they excluded? I think what she's trying to sort of create a community around is for the women to have like a safe space, because I think in some cases like women feel more reserved when there are men around. I don't quite understand this entire thing, but I suppose it has a lot to do maybe with their family background or something along those lines. Like, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And I think women in general, not all, they tend to follow instructions and follow what they are being told to do.
Absolutely.
And that's also probably one of the greatest reasons, like when they have this in the boardroom itself, they say there are more men than women. So women would usually only stand up when they are 100% confident that they can do it, whereas the men would just, yes, even if they're only 50% ready.
Oh,
So, yeah.
it reminds me of an interesting study I read in graduate school, and so the study was about like they compare and contrast women and men when they show up for meetings. When women show up late for meetings, we come to the meeting room, we apologize. I'm so sorry. But when guys show up for the meeting, you know the first sentence they say? Let's get started. No apology. Isn't that interesting? Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Welcome back, Candice.
Can you hear us? Because we can't hear you and then you're a bit frozen actually. Yeah.
But in a very good way. You have a very beautiful, smiley face.
Yes. So, oops. And I think we have covered quite a lot of topics. Candice, are you back? Can you talk? Are you there?
I can talk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
can you hear me?
You're back now. Okay, cool. So now looking at the time, we have about 10 minutes. So I think we could go straight to the next. Next.
Claire, don't fire me, okay? After this episode, don't fire me. I love you.
It's alright. I think we have a good conversation coming around. I mean, we're doing live. You know.
I totally lost track of time because Candice, she just sings so many good words. Every point just resonates. It was like, yeah, great point.
Yeah.
So anyway, you go ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the next part on talking about one strength, that attribute that you could summarize to say who you are. You know, if someone asks you what's your greatest strength that has helped you to get where you are today, Candice, what word would that be? Are you there? She got frozen again.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I think definitely is my mindset. You know, I have a strength. So that is what keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe that I can do it. I believe that I will survive.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I belong, that I can change things. So that strength, what's definitely what keeps me going. All the time, if I think about like the big challenges in my life, the thing that hits me is my inner strength of I believe in myself. I will do it. I can do.
No, I think this is really good because I remember I actually mentioned this in the last episode before. Like deep down, I actually believe that she could do it. I mean, under all the stuff that's the education, the environment, everything, deep down she believed in herself. And I can see this common theme coming up in what Candice is saying today. So I think this is one secret, or people don't usually talk about. Is deep down you really have to believe in yourself, even though you might have doubts from time to time. Would you not say that? Yeah.
Oh, I so great. I have been holding my desire to interrupt you. So thank you for giving me the chance. I so believe it. Actually, I listened to another podcast interview, and this guy, he interviewed so many successful people, and he shared all those people. They share two traits. One is they dream big. They dream really, really big. The second, they believe in themselves. So amen to that.
Yeah, amen. If we do not believe, sometimes even when you don't believe that you believe in yourself, you have to believe in yourself in the deep end, Makes sense.
Absolutely. I love that. And how that strong belief has just pushed you to become where you are today. Even in the face of challenges and difficulties, you still believe in yourself. When nobody believed in you, you believe in yourself. I think that is a big challenge for women. Like, I really love how you responded to bullies, because when people bullied me, I first took the blame on myself. I said, wow, I must have done something wrong. But I'm working on that. I stop blaming myself. I stop apologizing. I start to believe in myself more, to really listen to my voice. And just like you, I really love how you responded to that question and how you handle that.
No,
Can I say something about apologies? Because you're talking about being apologetic, and I am one of the persons that I have to remind me to apologize, because I do not apologize. It's very, sometimes I even think that I'm very cold or very see, because it's something I do not do a lot. I do not apologize a lot, I apologize because I'm late. I apologize because sometimes I have some, overwhelming day, and I said, I'm gonna call you, and I didn't. So for these kind of things, of course, I apologize. But in a workplace environment, or if I'm dealing with a project, or for example, if I'm late for a meeting, I will not apologize, not at all. I just go on with my life, and sometimes I have to remind myself, Candace, you forgot to apologize. You have to say sorry. But in a lie, I'm not sorry. So it's gonna be a fake sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I love that.
Not sorry.
Hashtags.
Hey, you know what?
That's
I know why I'm not successful after today's interview. I just need to stop apologizing.
just stop apologizing.
That's a good one.
Oh
When
my
you
God, I
hurt
love this.
people, hurt people, of course, you have to apologize, but not the whole time apologizing for everything, So I think women, we apologize all the time for everything, and because we
Oh,
think that we're always so it's a thing that you have to really understand. Why am I apologizing? So why am I apologizing? Do I have to?
amen. Who is that? Who is the author for that book? Stop apologizing.
Yeah,
Rachel, right? Just came out. Just came out.
really. Is
I cannot.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I can find out later. Yeah, yeah. But you are just so amazing, Candice. The more I discover you, and the more I'm just like in love with you, and the more respect I have for you, in love of your spirit, and like just for being who you are, for being who you are. This is so amazing. Like right now, I'm sitting down. Normally, when I do interviews, I'm standing up. Right now, I can feel every single cell of my body is fired up, even though you couldn't really see it because I'm actually
That's
sitting.
good.
But this
That's
is
good. That's the kind of energy that we want to, isn't it? Like me and Clarice, we live in the same city, so we have the privilege of getting together for coffee, teas, events, and stuff. And I think it's always like that. We always have this amazing energy between us, isn't it?
yes.
yeah,
So that's it.
yeah.
I think the kind of people that I want to meet, and I want to be in my circle. People that has the same energy, that we share the same vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Given that we only have 2 minutes left, which is totally my fault, and I'm going to ask the second to the last question, and Clarice will just close. So, knowing what you know now, Candice, what advice would you give to yourself, your younger self, and or like others who are going through like kind of similar journey, just starting out on this, and what advice would you give to those people, either your younger self or those people who are kind of starting out?
I will say to starting thinking in how you where you want to go, and create a path for that. Because, for example, when I was in my 20s, I have my first business when I was 22. And I've always been in this pressure and this anxiety of wanting to do more quickly. I really want everything happening really quick. So sometimes I have like big mistakes that could be avoided just because I gave me a little bit of time, like wait another week, or thinking you really wanted to go this fast. Of course, you learn with your mistakes, so actually it's a positive process as well because you keep learning. But I would say to myself, and I would say to the youngest that want to start a business, or they're starting their career and they really wanted to go fast, that give time, because things happen for some reasons, and the things are going to be in the right place in the right time. The universe conspire for everything, and if you are in this run, sometimes you miss the whole journey. So I know that in my 20s, I missed a lot of maybe opportunities or even opportunities to enjoy life a little bit more because I wasn't this fast, this running. I want everything. I don't want to, wait another month or so. That makes me kick my anxiety. As I said, I could enjoy a little bit more my life for my, like my, I don't know, traveling or, and sometimes I haven't done it just because I was so focused on my business and I really wanted something fast. So I would give myself the advice to just deep breath and do not run, wait a little bit.
Yeah. Good.
Love it.
Thank you for sharing with us. And our last question today, seeing that we're a little bit over time, is that if you could do
That's the one. Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna have another question.
if you could do dinner with one person whom you love and respect the most, who would that person be?
It will be my father. So
Oh.
I was 3 years ago, and he's my role model. He taught me everything about business, about ethics in business, moral in life. He was a very positive man, so I've learned being positive and believe in myself with him. He encouraged me to be who I am as well. So, and I didn't have the opportunity to spend time with him in these last years. And when he passed, we didn't have the opportunity to see him. Uh, so if I could, and definitely I will have dinner with him, and definitely we're gonna sit in a very fancy restaurant with wine, drink some. Probably he would ask for some spot, and we're gonna have a lot of food and a lot of laugh and a lot of love. And I will be like the happiest person on earth if I could do it. But let's see. Yes,
Oh.
definitely my father.
Oh, this answer got my eyes tearing, so I love it. Thank God I'm not on YouTube right now. So
Yeah.
I'm fine,
that's a great
girls.
answer.
Mm. And
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think that sort of rounds up. Thank you for sharing about your father. I mean, I know your father has played a really huge role in shaping who you are today. And we can go through that story in detail another day.
You know what, Candice? You just need to come back. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna have a
I
special.
still have at least 20 questions I want to ask you. Seriously. Even though I talked a lot.
We're gonna go for round two.
Yeah, round two, a special episode, I think. That would be really cool. And yes, and coming up, like next week, we have a very amazing guest as well. I don't know if you know him too, Candice. It's Yesh. So he's an amazing guy that I got to know through LinkedIn. He has a very strong opinion, and he has a lot of stories to share as well about his growth. So it'll be really exciting. He's originally from India, and then he moved to Dubai with his family when he was, I think, was 8. And then at 17, he moved to Canada, far away from his parents, and adapted to a new culture. So that will be really exciting for us to hear from him and his story. And I hope everyone who is here with us today, thank you for tuning in and joining us. And I hope you guys can join us for next week. I think next week is probably next month actually. Next month on the 18th of April. I think it's not the last Thursday because I is going for a meditation retreat in
Not the eye, not the Clarice. This eye.
yes, not I, not me. Yes, I is going. So thank you very much, Candice, for coming and joining us at this time of the day, which is 9 to 10 o'clock, and then being ill and joining us. And we're really grateful that you were able to come to join us and share with us this amazing story and give our audience an opportunity to learn about your resilience, your strength, how about being patient and enjoying the journey for those people who are on the same journey. So it's really, really cool. I'll definitely be rewatching our interview again. Because I would say half the time I was a little bit trying to work out our little tech. But I think we're on track. It's good, despite a couple of hiccups. So I think we are good. So any last words, or if anyone to share?
Yeah, or maybe you can also share with us, Candice, where can people learn more about you and share your channels where they can check out your magazine.
Yeah, so let's put it on LinkedIn. So it's Candyce Costa. For the magazine, you can reach us at the website. It's www.digitalbusinesswomen.com. We have right now open for guests for interviews, for articles, and the podcast as well. So we still get new names and people around the world that want us to be featured in the magazine. And but there is website, so you can find all info there, or go and connect with me on LinkedIn as well.
Cool. Yeah, I will.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I will put down those links later on after our show and our video, and you can share this with your awesome tribe. How about the conversations and lessons you share with us? So thank you very much, Candice. And
thank you very much, girl.
Cool. So
awesome.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Yes, take care, and thank you everyone who has joined us today. Thank you for supporting us. We'll see you next month. Cool. Bye bye.